The Amazon is not just a jungle. It's a sprawling, unforgiving labyrinth where nature reigns supreme. Imagine this, you're deep within the Amazon rainforest where the canopy stretches so high it swallows the sunlight, and the air is thick with humidity and the cacophony of unseen wildlife. In the midst of this dense green sea, a small group of children, barely more than a few feet tall, have managed to survive not just the crash that brought them here, but 40 grueling days of isolation. May 1st, 2023 started like any other day, with the hum of the Cessna 206's engine soaring over the lush expanse of southern Colombia. But as fate would have it, that hum abruptly cut out, and the plane's descent through the trees was anything but gentle. When the wreckage finally came to rest, it was scattered amidst the thick underbrush, a brutal reminder of the chaos that had just unfolded. But the real shocker came when the wreckage was found and the 3 adults on board were confirmed dead: Magdalena Muto, the children's mother, and 2 other passengers. The plane's manifest showed 4 children, ages 13, 9, 5, and a baby girl, were also on board. Yet they were nowhere in sight. They had vanished into the jungle, a place that, for them, would become both a deadly adversary and an unlikely refuge. For over a month, the jungle became their battleground, their shelter, and their prison. The search for these children was nothing short of a national obsession, a race against time through one of the most inhospitable environments on Earth. As the search stretched from days into weeks, the story of these 4 young survivors began to captivate a nation and eventually the world. Their story was no longer just about a plane crash. It became a narrative of extraordinary resilience and survival against the most daunting odds. This isn't just a tale of mere survival. It's a miracle, a testament to human will and the unyielding power of hope. 4 children, against all odds, emerging from the heart of the Amazon jungle after 40 days of unimaginable hardship. Their journey through the jungle, marked by both desperation and hope, defies the very fabric of what we believe to be possible. The sun was just beginning to rise over the dense green canopy of the Colombian Amazon on May 1st, 2024, when the tranquility of the morning was shattered. The small Cessna 206, carrying a group of passengers, including 4 young children, was slicing through the humid air when disaster struck. The plane's engine, once a steady hum of reliability, sputtered and then fell eerily silent. With the engine's failure, the plane plunged into chaos. The world outside the windows turned into a blur of green as the Cessna 206 veered off course. Trees and underbrush loomed like giant sentinels, and within moments the tiny aircraft was slamming into the jungle floor. The crash was a violent culmination of twisting metal and splintering wood, a cacophony of destruction that left the jungle reverberating with the aftermath. When the wreckage was eventually found 2 weeks later, the scene was one of utter devastation. Indigenous volunteers who had been tirelessly searching the expansive forest stumbled upon the scattered remnants of the plane. Their grim discovery revealed 3 lifeless bodies: Magdalena Muto, the children's mother, an indigenous leader, and another passenger. Each body told a story of the terror and violence of that fateful crash. But amidst the wreckage, there was no sign of the children. The manifest had confirmed their presence on the plane: a 13-year-old girl, her 9-year-old sister, a 5-year-old brother, and a baby girl. They were now missing, their fate uncertain, lost somewhere in the vast expanse of the jungle that had become their reluctant refuge. The wreckage, with its twisted metal and scattered belongings, lay in stark contrast to the dense, oppressive greenery surrounding it. It was as if the jungle had swallowed the plane, and with it, the hope of finding those who had miraculously survived the initial crash. The discovery marked the beginning of a desperate and high-stakes search operation, with the clock ticking relentlessly against the children's chance of survival. In the wake of the plane crash, the urgency to find the missing children galvanized a massive and unprecedented search operation. Dubbed Operation Hope, the mission was nothing short of a logistical and human feat. Over 113 commandos from the Colombian Army, their faces set in grim determination, were deployed into the heart of the Amazon. They were joined by 92 indigenous trackers whose intimate knowledge of the jungle was as crucial as any advanced technology. The search was further supported by 11 aircraft, their engines roaring above the canopy in a relentless sweep for any sign of the lost children. The scale of the operation was staggering. The dense, unyielding forest where visibility was often reduced to mere feet posed immense challenges. The soldiers and trackers navigated treacherous terrain, hacking through thick vines and trudging through muddy undergrowth. They were searching for any indication of the children's presence, any clue that could lead them to the young survivors. Early signs of hope emerged amid the despair. 3 miles from the crash site, searchers found a baby bottle. It was a small, seemingly innocuous item, but in the context of a vast jungle, it was a beacon of hope. This discovery suggested that the children had been moving away from the crash site, a critical piece of information that could guide the search. Further optimism was fueled by the discovery of a child's footprint in the mud, a tiny imprint that spoke volumes. Scissors, a small pair of tennis shoes, and other personal items scattered around the area provided further clues. Each find was a thread in the tapestry of the children's survival, hinting at their desperate journey through the jungle. These early clues not only buoyed the spirits of the search teams, but also directed their efforts with renewed focus. Yet, the jungle remained a formidable opponent, its vastness and complexity a constant challenge. Despite the promising clues, the searchers faced an uphill battle against time and nature, racing to find the children before the relentless jungle claimed them. The conditions were brutal. The Amazon, with its sprawling network of undergrowth, dangerous wildlife, and unpredictable weather, presented an unforgiving landscape. Venomous snakes slithered through the underbrush, and jaguars prowled in the shadows. Food was scarce and hard to come by. Water sources were not always visible, and what little they could find often posed risks of contamination. The constant threat of starvation and dehydration loomed over them, an ever-present reminder of their perilous situation. Yet, amidst these harsh conditions, the children's indigenous heritage proved to be their greatest asset. The knowledge passed down through generations equipped them with crucial survival skills. They knew which plants were edible and which were toxic, an invaluable understanding in a place where many seemingly benign plants can be deadly. They recognized the cassava tuber, a root vegetable high in carbohydrates which provided a vital source of energy. Cassava, when properly prepared, could sustain them in their desperate bid for survival. Their ability to find and utilize water sources was equally critical. The children used every resource at their disposal, including a simple soda bottle they scavenged from the wreckage. This bottle, while unremarkable in everyday life, became a lifeline in the jungle. It was used to collect and store water, a vital resource they could not afford to waste. The jungle's streams and rain provided some relief, but the risk of contamination meant they had to be cautious with every drop they consumed. The children's daily survival strategies were a testament to their resilience and ingenuity. They scavenged from the wreckage for whatever supplies they could find, bits of food, scraps of clothing, and any other items that might offer some advantage. They foraged for nuts and wild fruits, utilizing their indigenous knowledge to avoid poisonous varieties. Each day was a precarious balancing act of managing their resources, avoiding dangers, and maintaining their strength. Their journey through the jungle was not just a physical struggle, but a profound test of willpower and adaptability. Every step, every decision was a matter of life and death. Their survival was not merely a matter of chance, but a result of the deep-seated knowledge and resourcefulness that enabled them to navigate the complexities of the Amazon rainforest. After over a month of relentless searching, the Amazon finally offered a glimmer of hope. On June 9th, in the labyrinthine depths of the jungle, indigenous trackers stumbled upon the breakthrough everyone had been desperately praying for. The dense foliage, which had previously obscured all signs of life, now yielded traces of the children. It was as though the forest, once indifferent to their plight, was finally giving up its secrets. The moment was tense and fraught with emotion. As the trackers moved methodically through the thick underbrush, they came across the telltale signs of the children's presence. A child's footprint, distinct and small, etched into the muddy ground. Nearby, they discovered a makeshift shelter, a crude structure of branches and leaves. The evidence pointed unmistakably to the fact that the children had been here recently. The trackers' hearts raced with a mix of hope and urgency. They had found their quarry. The scene of their discovery was both heart-wrenching and heartening. The children, weakened by weeks of hardship, were found in a state of frail resilience. They were covered in dirt, their clothing tattered, and their bodies emaciated. Yet their eyes reflected a glimmer of the fierce will to live that had carried them through their ordeal. The physical and emotional toll of their survival was apparent, but so was their undying spirit. Immediately, the rescue operation shifted into high gear. The Colombian military, having been mobilized for this exact moment, brought in helicopters to airlift the children from the treacherous jungle. The helicopters, with their rotors slicing through the humid air, hovered over the dense canopy, preparing for the delicate task of extraction. The rescue team descended into the clearing where the children were gathered, their arrival marked by a flurry of activity and palpable relief. As the children were carefully lifted into the helicopters, the gravity of their situation became even more apparent. The journey from the jungle to safety was short but intense, with the helicopters navigating through the thick, low-hanging clouds that often shrouded the Amazon. The children, once isolated in their struggle, were now surrounded by rescuers and medical professionals, all working tirelessly to ensure their safe evacuation. Upon reaching San Jose del Guaviare, a small town in southern Colombia, the children were immediately transferred to a waiting medical team. The town, which had become a focal point of hope for so many, buzzed with activity as the children received urgent medical care. The sight of the children finally safe and in the care of professionals was a profound moment of triumph and relief for all involved. The town's residents, who had followed the harrowing search closely, celebrated the news with a mix of joy and disbelief. The rescue of these 4 children was more than a story of survival. It was a testament to the relentless efforts of a nation united in hope. It marked the end of a grueling search and the beginning of a new chapter in the children's lives, one where they could finally begin the process of recovery and healing from their extraordinary ordeal. As the helicopters touched down in San Jose del Guaviare, the children's long journey through the Amazon reached a pivotal moment: their recovery. The sight of them finally removed from the jungle's clutches was a profound relief. But their ordeal had left visible scars, both physical and emotional, that would require extensive care and attention. The immediate priority was medical treatment. The children were rushed to a local clinic where doctors began their comprehensive assessment. The physical toll was stark. They were severely malnourished, their bodies frail and weakened from weeks of inadequate food and water. Malnutrition had left them with sunken eyes and emaciated limbs, a stark reminder of the harsh conditions they had endured. Dehydration was another critical concern. The children had survived in the jungle with very limited access to clean water. Their skin was dry and their lips chapped, indicative of a prolonged lack of hydration. Medical teams administered intravenous fluids to restore their electrolyte balance and rehydrate their bodies. This immediate intervention was crucial to stabilize their condition and prevent further complications. Insect bites and infections were also a significant issue. The Amazon's dense environment is teeming with insects, and the children had been exposed to countless bites, which often lead to secondary infections. The medical team meticulously treated these bites, providing antibiotics to address any infections and applying topical treatments to soothe the irritated skin. The goal was not just to heal the physical wounds, but to also provide comfort and relief after such a grueling experience. While physical healing was critical, the psychological impact of their ordeal was equally pressing. The trauma of surviving a plane crash, losing their mother, and enduring weeks of isolation in the jungle had left emotional scars. The 13-year-old in particular had shouldered a significant emotional burden, acting as a caretaker for her younger siblings during their time in the jungle. The psychological strain on her was profound, and the mental health support she received was tailored to address her specific needs. Mental health professionals worked closely with the children, providing trauma-informed care to help them process their experiences. Play therapists, child psychologists, and counselors were involved in their recovery, using techniques designed to help the children express their feelings and begin to heal emotionally. For the 13-year-old, the support was crucial in helping her navigate the complex emotions of guilt, fear, and responsibility that had accumulated over the weeks. The recovery process was not just about addressing immediate physical needs, but also about helping the children reintegrate into a normal life. Family members were actively involved in the recovery process, providing emotional support and stability. The children were gradually reintroduced to a more stable environment where they could begin to recover not just their physical health, but also their sense of security and normalcy. As the weeks passed, the children showed remarkable progress. Their physical health improved with continued medical care, and they began to regain their strength and vitality. Psychologically, while the scars of their experience would take time to heal, the support they received laid the foundation for their emotional recovery. Their resilience and the comprehensive care they received became a beacon of hope and a testament to the strength of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable adversity. The story of these 4 children is a powerful testament to human endurance and the critical role of community in the face of disaster. From the depths of the Amazon to recovery, their journey reminds us of the strength we all possess. If you found this story as inspiring as we did, subscribe to our channel for more incredible tales and insightful content that delves into the extraordinary aspects of human survival.